Hello guys, and welcome back to another great day of Bible study. And remember, it's not great because I'm doing it. It's great because of all God has done for you and for me. And so we're going to do a transition today. We're looking at probably at our last episode, our last study of David for right now, and transitioning to his son Solomon. So you have David, and David goes to Nathan and says, "Why do I have this beautiful palace, but God lives in a tent?" He's thinking about this and says, if God's almighty, why am I living in something much more spectacular than what God is if I'm just a human being? And Nathan says, do whatever you see fit. But God comes to David in a dream and says, look, if I wanted a temple, I would have you build it for me. But I wanted the tent because I walked with you in the desert. I walked with you in the wilderness, and I am with my people. And I don't want you to build a house for me. Why? Because David has blood on his hands. He is a warrior king. He is a conquering king. He is a soldier. And God says, I want my house, my temple, to be built by a man of peace. And so he says, your son will build this temple for me, not for you. So David has something called humility here, because immediately he goes to him in prayer and says, okay, basically, and you are mighty. Who are you to put this shepherd boy in as king? And goes on through this beautiful prayer that you can find there in 1 Chronicles 17 and goes through, and he's very humble. And you know what David does? David takes himself out of the equation, and he says, if my son is going to build this temple, I'm going to make it as easy on him as possible. And so he starts talking to other kings and has some trades with these other kings, and he brings in all this new cedar and bronze and iron, which is iron is a really new, what we would call technology. Like, this isn't very old. Now you can go to the hardware store now and get iron nails anytime you want, or maybe it's not even iron anymore, but better metal than that. At this point, iron is cutting edge. It's like lasers for them. And so he's bringing in all this new stuff to make the best temple possible. It says there's more bronze that can be counted. There's more cedar logs that can be counted. And cedar is really important because it smells fantastic, and it keeps moths away. It's just a really great wood. And he gets top of the line cedar. David looks to the future and realizes, I'm not going to be in the future, so I'm not going to do everything for me. I'm going to do things for my children and for my nation in the example of God. So here's the deal that I want you to remember today before we go to story time. And story time is going to be really neat today, I think. So stick around for that. But sometimes we do things in this world not for us. Sometimes we do things in this world that we know we're never going to be a part of. And that's okay. We do it for others. So here's your challenge as you go forward. What can you do for other people that you might not ever find a benefit from? You might not ever reap any good from. David was never going to see that temple built, and yet he still made sure all the supplies were there. So what can you do for other people that won't make your life better? How can you be a servant to others to make their life better? So stick around. Don't change that dial. Don't get up off that couch, because story time is special today. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mr. Bob, and I am on location. We're going to go back in my time machine rocket, and we're going to blast off to a long time ago, and we're going to see how somebody planned for the future. So come along with me in my rocket ship.
Hello, everybody. I'm Wayner, dude, preacher man. We need to build a new building. Can we do that together? Great. We will meet back here tomorrow to begin building.
Hi, my name is Timmy, and I absolutely love to build. I can't wait to build on our new church building. It's gonna look absolutely spectacular. Hey, Timmy, where you been? Oh, I've just been working on the church building. Can you figure out what Dad is doing over there? What? He's not building at all. He's supposed to be one of the people that head up this big old project. I know. I can't figure out what he's doing. It's driving me insane. I know. No wonder the other kids in Bible school were making fun of us. I know. Dad's just lost his mind again.
Mr. Smith.
Hello, Mr. Wayner dude. What can I do for you?
I noticed that you haven't done too much work on the new church building.
Why not? Well, Mr. Wayner dude, that's an easy explanation. In fact, I've been doing a lot. Because this beautiful church building our congregation is building together is made out of wood.
I know. What else would we make it out of? Tin cans? The leftover coffee scraps from the youth minister? What do you think we're gonna make it out of? Potatoes?
Well, Mr. Wayner dude, what we need is to think about the future.
The future?
Yes, Mr. Wayner dude. What do you think is gonna happen to that wood in 100 years?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
So I have been planting a forest right next to the church building.
A forest? Why a forest?
Well, that way when we need wood to repair the church or rebuild it, we have the wood right there.
Oh, that's brilliant. We'll have wood for the future.
Yes, sirree.
Well, that sounds good.
Peekaboo. Hey, guys. So, the moral of that story is really easy. We have to look to the future, and sometimes, just like David, we're not even going to see the final project done. You see, it's like, well, Mr. Wayner dude didn't see the future that they needed wood in the future, but Mr. Smith did. David knew he needed to get all the materials together to make Solomon's life much easier. So remember, it's called cathedral type thinking. What can you do to make the projects and the jobs easier in the future for others, even though you're never going to see them? So that is what it is to be selfless. One way to be selfless is to be thinking about people in the future and doing things for them that will never benefit you. And that's actually really hard to do, but that's something we can all challenge ourselves to do. We'll see you next time. Remember, church, Bible class, at 7 o'clock Wednesday nights, right here at the Eastwood Church of Christ, 2500 North Plum. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. Hey, if you like my floating head or anything else, make sure you hit like on this video, share, comment, hit that notification bell, ding, 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 and subscribe, because it really helps me out. It makes me feel really good, and I'll keep doing these, but I'll probably keep doing them anyway. So, we'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, obey your parents.